What a weekend this has been already. I mean, we still have another day and a half of con to go, but we've had two pretty stacked DC panels between, the Absolute and then the Jim Lee and friends yesterday.
Yeah.
So how has con been so far?
Exhausting. It's fun. I always love being here. I've come to this con every year since I was 14 years old. So I've seen it grow. I've seen it change. I've seen it become this monster thing. I remember when the DC booth was much smaller than this, back when I was a kid. It was like, just tables. It was tables with red and blue curtains, but it was not like this. It wasn't. They had stuff, but it wasn't like this. So I've seen it, and it's always fun to be here, and I get to see people I never get to see, like Danny. People I only see on my computer screen.
Yep.
So it's nice with that. But that's always the best part of it. Is get to see other creators, get to hang out with your friends. But it's been awesome, but also exhausting.
How's it been for you so far?
It's the same. It's same exhausting and awesome at the same time. It's really intense. You wake up and all day doing things, talking with people, meeting fans. It's everything great, but it's also really, really exhausting. But you go back home like no energy, but feeling awesome. So it's worth it.
It's weird when you go home and it feels like you went back to reality. Or like, what was I doing yesterday?
Yeah, that's the thing. I'm gonna get on that flight on Monday night back to London and go back to my day job and just be like, I was doing this awesome thing, and now I'm back in my office doing paperwork 9 to 5.
But we kind of do paperwork.
It's a very different kind.
Digital paperwork.
And so coming into this weekend, we had the big announcement of the Absolute Universe and this DC All-In special, which is coming after Absolute Power. Firstly, we've heard how it's been a couple of years in the making.
Yeah.
How does it feel to finally be out here kind of talking about it and showing it off to people?
Oh, I still can't believe it. I mean, we really did start talking about this probably in like late 2019, 2020, like Scott and I, right? So it was something Scott and I were talking about, and like Scott and I and James Tinney at the time, like the three of us were working on death metal still, and so we were having these conversations about the DCU, and like what did we want from the DCU, what were ideas we had. And so 2020 we talked about it a lot, like the three of us, and then eventually just Scott and I. And then we put it on hold, like Scott left and was doing Creator Own, James was gone, and I was here by myself. But I was hanging out, doing DC, but we kept talking, And so about 2 years ago here, it was 2 years ago here, it's so crazy. We had a meeting and we started talking about it again. We were like, I think this is what we're going to do. We had some ideas. And then it was a few months after that, we had another meeting about it, and Scott was like, I think we should call it all in, because we keep saying that phrase. We keep saying we're all in this together. We do this all together. Like we're all, and we just started having these plans. And so to finally see it and to see shirts to say all in on it, and like to see all this stuff, to see this gigantic, Absolute Batman drawing over here, which that Absolute Batman stuff, that is something we started talking about in 2019. Wow. So it's like, to really see it now, I still can't believe it at times. Like to see pins and shirts and comics, and exactly. Like you're wearing the shirt, It's so crazy to see this thing finally coming together. But it's awesome. It's nice to know that we spent this time thinking about it, and like Jim Lee was saying, like we really put some time, and we really, as Scott likes to say, kick the tires. Like we really spent some time developing and thinking about it, and there was ups and downs with it. Like when you're really trying, because it's a massive initiative. And it is a really big thing that we're doing. So I would definitely stay with surreal at this point. It's still, there are moments where I'm like, wait, this is actually happening? We are doing this thing? Oh, okay, all right, well, I better get back to work.
It's really here. The shirts are really out. The pins are out.
Having Danny draw pages from the All-In special.
Well, so this is what I want to get to. So there's been lots of talk about flip books and what this All-In special is going to be like. But let's start with the artwork. So what has it been like drawing this and inventing this new part of the DC universe?
It was unexpected for me and very exciting. I heard about the initiative like past New York. And I was like, oh, this is coming. It's so cool. But I'm in Wonder Woman, so I was expecting to look at it like another fan, But I didn't expect to take a part of it with this special issue. And it's very exciting for me because I want to be a part of everything at DC because I love it so much. My problem is that I just can't draw one issue, one series at a time. But I would love to draw half of it, So this quick getting out of Wonder Woman to take a part of it and then go back, for me it's amazing. Having the chance to work with my friend. And drawing a million characters per page again, and everything feels great again.
It was funny when we were earlier this year when we were trying to figure who was going to draw that section, because there's two sides of the flip book.
Yes.
One is Wes Craig, Dark Side, and the Superman side. And I was like, we're having all these meetings, who's going to draw? And I'm like, it has to be somebody that's like iconic DC, gets it. And they would throw options at me, and I was, no. And I was like, it has to be somebody that can really nail this. And I remember one time Paul Kaminsky texted me, he's like, hey, can you talk real quick? And I was like, yeah, call me, whatever. He calls, he's like, all right, I want to ask an artist, but I want to ask you if you're okay with it first. And I was like, who is it? And he said it was Danny. And I was like, what are you talking about? Yes, go. Go. That's real? You can do that? And he was like, well, we've talked about the schedule. We haven't talked to him yet, but we talked about the schedule. I think we can make it work. We need to talk to him. But he was like, I just want to make sure you're okay with it. And I was like, why? Yes, go.
Why would I not?
Go. Yeah, it's perfect. And I was like, there's no way. And then he texted me the other day. He's like, Danny's in. And I no joke, it was a weightlifting. I was like, it was a weightlifting. And then I was like, oh man, he is gonna kill me, because I was like, this is gonna have 2-page spreads with every DC character in it. All right. So I was like, I have to call Danny and talk to Danny and warn him.
He's always apologizing, and I appreciate, but I love this stuff. I'm like, I don't know how to say in English. I like to hurt myself or something, but I like this stuff. I enjoy it.
Give me the complicated stuff.
Yeah, but because I love every character in DC, and having the chance to draw them all together, it's an honor for me. It's amazing. I grew up seeing people do this and thinking, oh, this is the coolest thing ever. So being able to do it by myself now, it's awesome. So it's tiring, but it's awesome. The same that the convention. And I heard about this issue. I know that it was coming, but I was expecting someone else to draw it, of course, because I'm busy in Wonder Woman. So I was feeling like, oh, I wish I could draw this, but it's not my thing, So when I get the proposal, I was like nervous, because it was, can I do it? Can we make a schedule and make everything fit? And they were like, yeah, no problem, we can make it. And I was like, yeah, go for it, of course.
Yeah.
So we have these two sides of the book. We have the Superman side and the Dark Side, as you just said. Can you just tease a little bit more about what we can expect and where those stories might be leading us?
Well, obviously it leads to the creation of the Absolute Universe, and that's obviously a major piece of it. I'm not sure. We definitely tease things that are coming, and it's going to be very important for the DCU for the next 2 years. It really is the beginning of setting up a lot of pieces that are going to be... Stuff happens in it that are like triggers and catalysts that are really going to change a lot. Like a lot of story you're going to see in the next years that come from it. Yeah. I'm not sure what I can say. I will say on the Wes Craig side, we were going to show the art. I think we were going to show one of my favorite parts of the Wes Craig side is actually a fight between Darkseid and Eclipso that I've wanted to see since I was a kid, and it's beautiful. That part I'm really excited about. With Danny, we get to see the new Justice League forming. We get to see some of the stuff with the Watchtower. But, and I think Danny draws one of the best Superman, and there's a really awesome scenes with Superman in it. There's some really fun stuff. I'm always... There's certain characters, if I mention their names, I feel like it's way too much of a spoiler for our side,
Yes.
So it's like I try to avoid talking about those characters particularly, but there is one character I think that is the heart of... I think he's the heart of the issue in a lot of ways. But I don't want to tell you who it is. You'll know the moment you open it up. You're gonna start reading it and be like, oh, that's what this is really about, and you're gonna pick it up pretty quickly.
So final question on Absolute and All In. We heard it again at the Jim Lee panel talking about how this was sort of born from this strange narrative that the age of the superhero is over for whatever reason, or that there's this superhero fatigue, which
we don't believe it.
No, I don't think anybody here believes this, but.
Yeah.
To see DC go all in on this and to have everyone be so excited, what does that mean to you as a creator? To see a company like DC just really double down and say, no, completely just fuck what they're saying. We are really all in.
No, it's nice because I think we've been saying it quietly for years.
Yeah.
I think all of us say it quietly behind closed doors, but I think it was a nervousness of saying it out loud. But to know that everyone can come together and say it with a much louder voice is very empowering. It's very nice, it's energizing. So that's how I look at it, where it's like, none of us believe that. We all love it. I think if you believe it, you don't love it.
Yeah.
Right? And we love it. So it's like, for us, it was like, we just kept thinking, like, well, we love it. What are they talking about? And it was like, because there was a lot of private conversations on the love and louder voices saying the other. It was like, no, we have to be louder. It's like, I always think about how, like, you gotta be louder than the noise, right? Noisier than the noise.
Yeah.
So like that, it's like, that's sort of my attitude about things, and I feel like that is what we're doing right now. So it's nice to see the company come together and be like, yes, now is the time. Now is the time. We have to be louder, and so that's been very nice to see.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for talking All In.
Pleasure.
best of luck when it finally comes out and we can see what's happening.
First week of October. Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thanks for watching, Super Friends. If you enjoyed this video, then make sure to hit the subscribe button just down below and hit the bell so that you can get notified whenever we release brand new videos. In fact, there's 2 more waiting for you to watch right here below. So what are you waiting for? Why not click play?